Hey there! So today we have another review, and this is a beer in collaboration with Cigar City and Oskar Blues, but it's not really collaboration. They are Canarchy. So Canarchy is you guys might be able to explain the business model a little bit better to me, but pretty much you have to compete with the macro breweries, but then you also have to compete with the large regionals, like you're talking about, like some of the biggest craft breweries in the country, Sierra Nevada, New Belgium, stuff like that. So what have some reasonable size craft breweries done? They've combined together. So Oskar Blues, together with Perrin, Three Weavers, and a few other breweries, they are now on, I think, top 5 or top 10 largest craft breweries in the country because they've sort of come together and created their own company. But this is a collaboration with them. This is Bamburana Barrel Aged Imperial Stout aged in whiskey and brandy barrels with figs, dates, and Amburana wood spirals. I do not know what Amburana wood spirals is. Sometimes I like explaining stuff to you. I can post it in the comments below, description below, but sometimes you want to dig into blind. So just taste what you taste and then find out what it is later, right? I'm enjoying the adventure with you guys. So this is 12.2% beer, and it's actually brewed at the Oskar Blues facility in Brevard, North Carolina. At least the stuff that I'm getting, and then also it is brewed in Texas. So the beer is very dark. Who knew? Who brews great stouts? Oskar Blues and Cigar City, and they collaborated together on this one. Really dark, wonderful head on there, pitch black, pretty much. Let's get their notes on this one. Ooh. Beautifully complex. It has, I smell brandy. It has just lots of shriveled white red grape skin, like date sweetness, but also this kind of like, yes, it smells like oxidation, like brandy. Yeah. Yeah, just like oldness of a spirit like that. But dominated by those brandy notes. And then you get a little sweetness of the base out in there. Quite nice, but very much barrel aged, obvious, and something that's not really used that much, but also something that's very punchy and also well executed. It doesn't really dominate it does dominate the nose, but it smells special. How about this? If I had this in a glass right now and I'm smelling it, I was like, oh yeah, this is a cool release that you have in a 750 bottle, not a can 4-pack that I had to just take off the 4-pack. It's so weird. Let's enjoy this beer and see what we think about it. So initially, this beer is generally quite sweet. You get an attack of sugary raisin and fig up front. There's an initial attack of that, but the complexity is intense. Wow. I am going to continue with what I was saying about it's still growing on me. Wow. It still hits the palate. This is a single can in a 4-pack that had distribution. If this was marketed correctly and this was a brewery-only release at Cigar City and name it something special, I can imagine this being sold out, secondary value, $100, $200 at least. This is a very special beer, like at least in the glass and the liquid that I'm tasting right now. We're trying not to bias ourselves with what's in the can versus what can be enjoyed at a share. I've enjoyed a lot of beers at shares, and I've had a lot of beers that it's like, okay, this is cool and this is complex and it's interesting, and this is what exactly it is. It is well executed, it's complex, it's really interesting, and let me give you some ideas about what's going on here. So up front, I'm getting that brandy character. It's very obviously a little bit spirit forward. It's got that, like, again, boozy wine thing going on. Raisins come in. It's very sweet. The fig sweetness comes in. As you wait more, there's a little bit of ashiness and roastiness coming from the base beer. And then the vanilla comes in because the bourbon barrel's involved. I'm not quite sure where the Amburana wood spirals come in. It might be offering a little bit of spiciness because I'm getting a little bit of like this kind of light cinnamon bar kind of character on this one. There's also a nuttiness coming up from the base stout, often this like nuttiness, caramel sweetness, peanut brittle, sweetness, caramel, combining with the raisins, combining with the coconut vanilla from the bourbon character, combined with like maybe light spice from the bourbon character, because you get apple pie cinnamon spice coming from bourbon barrels sometimes. So I'm not quite sure where the Amburana woods barrels come in, and it is what it is. But I know the taste, I know what's available, and I'm familiar with the flavors that are in here, other than the woods barrels. But there's just a range of flavors, sort of like echo and echo and echo, and you wait and it just sings. And the thing is, despite the fact that it comes off so sweet up front, is that this beer is wonderfully complex, and it still has that base stout that comes in. And at 12.2%, not the sludgiest beer you've ever had, but pretty fitting. I don't think Cigar City and Oskar Blues are known for making thin beers, and this does not disappoint. You have a lot of cask quality to it, so you're obviously going to lose some of that amount of that viscosity and chew to the beer. This beer is thick. It is chewy. It's not thick and chewy, but it has a nice amount of character to it without being like thin, right? 12.2%. This beer is beautifully complex. This has to be it's by far the most interesting wide release barrel aged imperial stout that you can buy, and for value has to be one of the best for that. But we're judging the liquid right here. I am a sucker for interesting beer. Oh, that brandy barrel is so cool. That brandy barrel honestly dominates a little bit, but man, that is fun beer. That is fun beer. $97. Yeah, 97. The fact that I just walked up to the shelf and picked this up without going to a bottle release is absolutely insane. I've had much worse beers that were specialty releases that had to be traded for and sold on secondary market. If you marketed this correctly and put it in 750 bottle, this would be insane. The amount of complexity in this one, the fun ingredients in this one, it's a great base stout, and it just has fun flavors, and it's just like something you keep searching for. It is generally a little bit sweet, and it's not the most viscous, chewy beer that you'll ever be introduced to, but I think it does a great job in general. Enjoy this one. Please seek this one out. Until next time, guys. Cheers. Later.